My dear child, pause for a moment. Please don't hurry to move on. Don't let this moment become just another part of your day, because what you are reading right now is not by chance or a mistake. I brought you here on purpose, at this very time when your heart is tired of carrying questions with no answers, when the burden you carry has been with you so long that you almost forgot how it feels to live without it. Right now, I want to speak to you, not with loud signs or a powerful voice from the sky, but in a gentle way. A loving father speaks softly to a child who has cried alone for far too long. I know everything happening inside you. I know the things you never tell anyone, not your friends, your husband or wife, or the people you love. You keep it all inside because you don't want to look weak, because you're tired of trying to explain, and because you can't always find the right words for what you're going through. But I'd understand. I see it all. Every night when you stare at the numbers and hold back your feelings. Every morning when you wake up and the first thought returns again. Every time you see someone receive what you've been praying for, and you quietly ask yourself, why not me? I have never left you, not even on the days when heaven seemed silent and your prayers felt like they went nowhere. Even then, I was right beside you, closer than the breath inside you. And today I have not come to judge you because you have questioned things. I came today to show you something important, something that can change the way you see everything you have lived through. Listen closely, my child, because every word is meant especially for you. There is a quiet question hidden inside your heart. You may not speak it aloud, but it is always there. It comes during your tired moments, in the long nights when you cannot sleep, and when you do your best but still see no results. The question sounds like this: what is wrong with me? Why do other people move forward while I keep failing? Why do all my efforts seem to crash into a wall I cannot see? I want to answer you honestly, not with only comforting words, but with a truth that can set you free. It is not because you are lazy. It is not because you are not intelligent enough, and it is not because I have turned away from you. The truth is that you are facing a battle your eyes cannot see. You are not only struggling with the things around you. Behind everything, in a world that is hidden from your eyes, there is a battle over your future, your purpose, your name, and the place I prepared for you before time began. As Ephesians 6:12 says, our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world. These words are not only a picture to help you imagine something. They describe a real truth. As long as you only focus on the visible reasons behind your struggles, like money, people, or difficult situations, you are seeing only part of the story. I want you to see the full picture. Let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed that certain patterns seem to repeat in your family or in the families around you? One person works hard generation after generation and still struggles to have enough. Another keeps losing good opportunities no matter how close they get. Someone else carries the heavy weight of debt they never created, yet it still affects them. This is not simply chance. It is more than bad luck. These are signs left behind by choices made many years ago by those before you. Some entered into those decisions knowingly, while others did it without realizing what they were doing. Yet the results remained. As Exodus 20:5 says, the effects of some choices can continue through generations. I am not telling you this to frighten you or make you feel guilty for things you never chose. I am telling you because you need to understand that what you are fighting is real, and it can be changed. Some families carry an unseen label over their lives, and no one ever says it aloud, but everyone seems to feel it. It says they will never rise beyond a certain point. In those families, money never seems to stay for long. Something always goes wrong just before success arrives. No one has written these words on paper, but they exist in a spiritual place that influences your life every single day. Even when you are not thinking about it, its effects remain. It is not your fault that it exists, yet you still carry the weight of it. And your name, the name people know you by, has become the focus of accusations you never deserve. Darkness is not only trying to attack your finances, it also attacks your name because it knows that once your name carries the mark of blessing, nothing can stop what I have prepared for you. Brothers and sisters, YouTube has demonetized this channel. Every video is now made at our own cost with zero ad revenue. Every script, edit, and upload is done by a real team serving this ministry with their time and skills, not for a paycheck, but out of love for God and for you. Without your support, continuing this work becomes incredibly difficult. If this ministry has brought value to your life, now is your chance to invest back and help keep the Word of God reaching the world. If these messages have ever moved you or strengthened your faith, please support us on Ko-Fi. Even a small gift goes a long way. The link is pinned in the comments. If you are watching on TV, open your phone camera and scan the QR code on screen. It takes you straight to our support page. Pray over it, and if God leads you, give. Thank you. And now listen carefully to what I am about to tell you. This is important. Some people spend their whole lives feeling as though they are always fighting against the current. They work twice as hard but receive only half of what they hoped for. They do everything the right way, yet something still goes wrong. They get close to the finish line, but it keeps moving farther away. They make wise choices, yet every situation seems to turn against them. Does this sound like your life? I am not saying this so you will feel sorry for yourself. I am saying it so you will finally stop blaming yourself for things that are not your fault. Stop believing you were not spiritual enough, that your prayers were too short, or that your faith was too small. Those thoughts are lies placed in your mind to keep you from standing in the place I prepared for you. As Galatians 3:13 says, Christ has redeemed us from every curse. This means that no chain reaching from the past has the right to keep you trapped, not even one. But before those chains can be broken, you must first admit they are there. You cannot break something you believe does not exist. I see how tired you are. Not the kind of tiredness that sleep can fix, but the deep weariness that has built up through many years. Tired of waiting, tired of hopes that kept disappointing you, tired of prayers that seemed to disappear into silence, tired of doing everything you believed was right and still not receiving what you asked for. You remember the days when you prayed with all your heart, when you truly believed that just a little more faith would open heaven. You remember your fasting, your giving, and how you held tightly to every promise even when everything around you told you, let it go. It isn't meant for you. Then came silence. Long, heavy silence. And during that silence, something very dangerous started happening. You did not leave me. No. But your heart slowly began to close. So slowly that you never noticed the moment you stopped truly expecting a miracle. You still come to me. You still pray. But deep inside, the expectation is gone. The words remain, but hope has almost disappeared. That place is the most dangerous one. Not because you are far from me, but because you are still here while your heart has become closed, like a door that still stands but is locked from the inside. I want you to understand something very important. Delay is not always my answer. Sometimes delay comes because of resistance in the spiritual world. There are forces trying to hold back what already belongs to you. They know that when it finally comes, it will not only change your life, but it will also break the pattern that has held your family for so long. That is exactly what darkness does not want. Let me remind you of someone you already know. His name is Joseph. You have heard his story many times, but today I want you to hear it in a different way. Do not see it only as something that happened long ago. See it as a reflection of your own journey. Joseph received a promise, a true and living promise. His dreams are not ordinary dreams. They were words spoken over his future. And what happened after that? Betrayal, a pit, slavery, prison, and being forgotten. One after another, every door seemed to close. Each time it looked like things were finally changing, something else went wrong. Yet none of those painful moments destroyed the promise. They only changed the road leading to it. While Joseph was in prison, he could have given up. He could have said, "I don't believe anymore. My dreams were never true. God has left me," but he did not give up. It was his heart, still whole and unbroken, that I was able to use. So today I ask you this: is your heart still whole? Because only into a whole heart can I place what I have been keeping for you. As Genesis 50:20 says, what the enemy meant for evil, I turn for good. That is the way my kingdom works. No attack from darkness can cancel what I have planned. It may delay it. It may try to wear you down, but it can never destroy it. Now let us talk about your name. Not the name written on your papers, but the name that carries who you truly are. Who are you in the spiritual world? Who are you in my eyes? Many people have lived under false labels for so long that they begin to believe those labels are true. A failure, someone who is always in debt, a person who never succeeds, someone who is always behind. These words may never have been spoken directly over your life, but they entered your mind through rejection, disappointment, and the opinions of people who never believed in you. After a while, you started saying those same things about yourself. Proverbs 23:7 says, "As a man thinks in his heart, so is he." Once you accept a false identity, you begin living as if it were true. Not because it is true, but because you believe it. Today I want to tell you clearly, without any doubt, none of those names came from me. Not one of them. That is not how I see you. I know you by another name, a name with no place for failure. As Isaiah 43:1 says, "I have called you by your name, you are mine, and when I call your name, every other voice must become silent." Abram became Abraham, Sarai became Sarah, and Jacob became Israel. I did not change their names only because they sounded better. I changed them because I changed who they were. Their old names could no longer carry what I was about to give them. The same is true for you. The time has come for the old labels to step aside for what I have written about your life. You believed your battle was only with people, money, work, or difficult situations. But today I am opening your eyes. There is much more happening than you have seen. Darkness already knows something that you have not fully understood yet. It knows that inside you is the seed of an extraordinary purpose. It knew this from the very beginning, maybe even before you recognized it yourself. That is why the attacks started so early. Think back to when you were a child. Some opportunities disappeared before you could even reach them. The people who should have believed in you often did not. Pain came into your life before your heart was strong enough to protect itself. None of that happened by accident. It was an attempt to destroy something valuable before it had the chance to grow. But darkness did not succeed because I was holding you. Every time it looked as if you would fall, I kept you standing. Every time it seemed you would break apart, I stayed beside you. You are not here today because of your own strength. You are still standing because I never allowed you to fall. And now darkness is trying the same thing again. It puts pressure on your finances because it knows that once they are established, you will have a platform to reach others. It attacks your identity because it knows that a person who truly understands who they are in me cannot be controlled by its lies. It creates delays because it knows that if you give up now, you could lose something that was only one step away. Please don't give up. Not now. I want to speak with you about waiting, about the long space between a promise and the day it becomes real, because that waiting has broken the hearts of many people. You see the delay as proof that I abandoned you, that you made a mistake, or that the promise was never true. But I see waiting in a different way. Think about a farmer who grows grapes. He does not pick the fruit too early, not because he is selfish or uncaring, but because he understands. Fruit that is not fully ripe will never have the flavor it was meant to have. He waits with wisdom and patience. When the right moment comes, he knows it. Not by looking at the clock, but by seeing that the fruit is ready. Your life is the same. I am not waiting because I am slow. I wait because I know the moment when you will be ready not only to receive what I have for you, but also to keep it, use it well, and not lose or damage what I place in your hands. Many people receive blessings before they are ready to carry them. Then those blessings become harmful, not because the blessing is wrong, but because the person was not prepared. I do not want that for you. Proverbs 10:22 says, "The blessing of the Lord brings wealth, and he adds no sorrow with it." When I bless you, I want it to bring life, not become another burden. Psalm 27:14 says, "Wait for the Lord, be strong and take heart." This is not giving up. It is choosing faith. Stand firm and know that I am working even when you cannot see anything happening. I also notice the things you never say aloud. You watch other people, sometimes even those close to you, enter seasons where everything seems easier. Doors open for them, their work succeeds, and it feels like their prayers are answered so quickly. You are not jealous. No, your heart is kind. But deep inside you quietly wonder, why them? Why not me? Am I not good enough? Is my faith weaker? I want to answer that question honestly. Not every blessing carries the same weight. Some arrive sooner because they are smaller. Others take longer because they carry much more. It is not because one person is more valuable than another. It is because what I have prepared for each person is different, and the one receiving it must be ready. Do not compare your path with someone else's. Every person has a different journey, a different season, and a different purpose. What I have prepared for you is not less than what you see others receive. It is simply different. It belongs to you. As Isaiah 40:31 says, "Those who trust in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow tired. They will walk and not faint." This promise belongs especially to those who have learned to wait, who kept moving even when the road was hidden, and who stayed close to me after everything else around them had fallen apart. Now let us speak openly about money, because I know this is one of the deepest pains in your life today. I see every moment you check your balance and feel your heart become heavy. I see every time you must make an important decision but do not have the money to carry it out. Every time you feel trapped by responsibilities, bills, or promises you must keep. I want you to hear this. The financial struggle in your life is not simply an accident, and it is not a punishment. It is a sign of an unseen blockage that exists in the spiritual world over your name and your family line. Until that blockage is removed, your efforts in the natural world will never fully match the work you put in. You work hard, you keep trying, you make wise choices, yet something always happens. An unexpected expense appears, an opportunity disappears, or someone lets you down at the moment you needed them most. Then you find yourself back where you started, or even farther behind. This is not random failure. It is a planned attack aimed directly at you because darkness knows the future prepared for your life. But listen carefully to what Galatians 3:13 says. Christ has redeemed us from the curse of the law. That means every spiritual blockage, whether it comes from family chains, wrong agreements made in the past, or false accusations spoken over your name, can be broken. It must be broken. And I am working even now as you read these words. My child, have you ever heard about spiritual courts? In the unseen world there are records connected to your life, your name, and your family line. Today I am showing you this because several false judgments have been spoken over your life in that unseen place. I did not come from me. I never spoke those words. They came from dark powers that gained influence through the choices of earlier generations, through words spoken over your family, and through silent acceptance of limits that should never have been accepted. Those judgments sounded like this. This person will never rise above a certain level. There will never be enough money in this family. This family will never have honor. You may never have heard those words spoken aloud, but you have seen their effects again and again through the years. Today I have come to declare that those judgments have been canceled. By my authority, sealed through the blood of the covenant, they no longer have any power over you. As John 8:36 says, if the Son sets you free, you will be free indeed. These are not only comforting words, they are a true reality in the spiritual world. You are free. What belongs to you must return to you. I also want to speak about your family line. You may think of yourself as only one person, but you are part of a larger story. You belong to those who lived before you and to those who will come after you. What you choose today, how you respond under pressure, how you keep your faith during hard times, and how you stand when everything seems impossible does not affect only your own life. You can become the person in your family who changes everything, who breaks the old pattern, who stands up and says, it ends with me. After me, a different story begins. I know those words may sound too great when you barely have enough strength just to keep going. But that is exactly the point. The greatest breakthroughs do not happen when everything is easy. They happen when it seems like nothing is left. Yet you still refuse to give up. As Joshua 24:15 says, the decision about whom to serve was made not when life was comfortable, but when everything was uncertain. A decision changed the future of many people. Today you stand before a similar choice. It is not a choice between believing and not believing because you have already chosen faith. It is the choice between allowing old patterns to continue or becoming the one who breaks them. Choose the second path. I will stand beside you. Let me also tell you something about angels. In the unseen world, things have already begun to move on your behalf. I have sent those who serve me to work in situations connected to your name. They are touching the hearts of people whose decisions affect your future. They are opening doors that look permanently shut. They are moving through systems and places that human effort alone could never change. You think about money that is owed to you and believe it is gone forever. I tell you it is not lost. It is waiting. It is waiting while my messengers complete their work in people's hearts, in circumstances, and in the unseen flow of events. You keep thinking about an opportunity that disappeared at the very last moment. I am telling you that it never slipped out of my hands. It can return in another form, even better than the one you expected. I do not simply restore what was lost. I bring back something greater. There are agreements that became silent. There are relationships that could have opened doors but closed for reasons you never understood. There are ideas I placed inside you that you set aside because you lacked the strength or the resources to act on them. I am telling you they are not gone. They are still in progress. My angels have not stepped away from your situation. Now I want to tell you something important about the season you are entering. I am not speaking about some faraway future. I am speaking about what begins right now. As you read these words, something is changing in the spiritual world. The locks holding back what belongs to you are becoming weaker. Files covered with dust are being lifted and reviewed again. A name that was forgotten is once again being noticed by those who have the authority to say yes. Soon you will begin to see signs of it. Not with thunder from heaven, but through quiet changes that seem almost impossible to notice. A phone call you never expected. An opportunity from a surprising place. A debt you believed would never change suddenly begins to move. A door that stayed closed for years opens as if on its own. When these things happen, do not call them luck or coincidence. It is me. These are my hands putting the pieces of your life into their proper place. I am doing this because the right time has arrived. Your heart has become ready to receive what I have been holding for you for so long. As 1 Peter 5:10 says, after you have suffered for a little while, the God of all grace will restore you, make you strong, support you, and keep you firm. It may not feel like a short time to you because it has seemed endless, but from where I see, it hath been a season of preparation, and that preparation is now complete. Before I continue, I want to tell you something about what happens after the blessing comes. Many people believe that once the blessing arrives, everything will be perfect. They are partly right, but only partly. The greatest danger in a person's life is not the miracle itself, but what happens after it. After receiving what they prayed for, many people slowly drift away from me. First, they become busy enjoying what they received. Then, they become busy protecting it. Before long, I am no longer at the center of their heart but pushed to the side. I do not say this to condemn anyone. I understand how easily it happens. I am telling you now because I do not want it to happen to you. As Deuteronomy 8:11 says, be careful that you do not forget the Lord your God. Those words were spoken as the people entered the promised land, a season of plenty, because I knew that abundance could become a quiet temptation that whispers, I achieved this on my own. Lo, you did not do it alone. When what I have promised finally reaches you, always remember that it came from me. Not because you earned it, but because I am faithful. Thankfulness is not only a beautiful emotion, it is a spiritual way of keeping heaven's flow open. As long as gratitude lives in your heart, that flow continues. When gratitude disappears, the flow begins to slow down. Not because I choose to punish you, but because you stop being a pathway and become a place where everything ends. I want you to picture something. There is a difference between a water tank and a canal. A tank keeps water only for itself. After some time, the water becomes still, loses its freshness, and is no longer useful. A canal allows water to keep moving through it. The more water flows through it, the cleaner it stays. I want you to become like that canal. Do not be someone who stores every blessing only for yourself until it loses its purpose. Be a living stream through which my grace continues to reach other people, especially those who are standing today where you once stood, because you understand their pain. You know what it means to wait, to question, and to keep holding on. That experience makes you someone who can help others as they begin their own difficult journey. When the blessing comes into your life, share it. Do not share only money, even though that matters. Most of all, share your words, your testimony, and the story of the road you have walked. Right now, someone is reading something much like what you once read, and they need to know that there is light waiting beyond the tunnel. My child, now let us speak about trust. Not the kind of trust that is easy when everything is going well. I mean the trust that remains when nothing makes sense, when the promise was given long ago but still has not happened, when I seem silent and you keep waiting for an answer. When every logical thought tells you to stop because it will never happen, something inside you still chooses to remain. That kind of trust is alive. It is not simply agreeing with a group of beliefs. It is a living relationship between you and me that continues even in darkness, especially in darkness. Remember Job. He lost everything, yet he still said, "Though he slay me, yet will I trust him." That is not foolishness. It is the highest form of faith. It is faith that does not depend on circumstances but says, "Even when I understand nothing, I know who you are, and that is enough." This is the faith that moves mountains. It is not faith that waits for proof. It is faith that keeps believing without it. So today I ask you, are you willing to trust me like this? Not because you already see the answer, but because you know who I am. If that is true, then listen carefully to what I am about to tell you, because this kind of trust opens doors that stay closed in every other way. There are things I have been keeping for you for a very long time. Some of them were prepared even before you were born as part of the plan I made for your life. The financial blessing that carries your name is still there. It has not been lost, forgotten, or given to someone else. It hath been kept safe, waiting. It waited not because I was unwilling to give it, but because you were not yet ready to receive it without losing or damaging it. Understand this. I see much farther than you do. You can only see today and maybe the next few days. I see the whole picture, the past, the future, and everything between them. I see the people who will enter your life after the blessing arrives. I know their intentions. I see every trap waiting along your path. I know the choices you might make in moments of excitement that could destroy what I have given you. That is why I have been shaping you for so long. That is why this season has lasted so long. Not to punish you, but to make you stronger, so that something grows inside you that will not collapse under the weight of what is coming. You are not the same person you were 3 years ago or even 5 years ago. You have become deeper, stronger, and wiser. Not because you have learned many things, but because you have lived through many things. And it is this new person you have become who is ready to receive what I have been holding for you. And now let me tell you what will happen next. Some things will return to you from places you never expected. Someone you have not thought about for a long time will suddenly remember you, and that memory will matter. A situation you believed was finished will unexpectedly open again, almost as if it happened on its own. An opportunity you once dreamed about, then gave up on, will come back again in a better form than before. This is not failure. These are my hands working in your story. I am rebuilding what was broken. I am restoring what was taken away. I am opening what has been locked. It will not all happen at once. It will happen one step at a time so that you will recognize my hand in every part of the journey. When these things begin, wait with patience. Stand still and watch. Do not become restless. Do not rush to force what has already started moving. Allow me to finish what I have begun. As Exodus 14:14 says, the Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. That is not weakness. It is wisdom. My child, you have traveled a long road. There were days when you wanted to quit, when you could not even pray because the words were gone. You looked at your children or those you love and felt completely helpless, when the shame inside seemed even heavier than the struggle itself. I saw every one of those days, and I wrote each one down, not as defeat, but as a testimony that you chose to stand up again after falling, that you chose to keep believing even when faith required all your remaining strength.